Okay, so we poured the ingot in there and all that gold into my wire ingot, and now we're going to see. It looks like it went all the way in, so let's see what happens here. Loosen up the clamp, pull back. Hey, look at there. There's an ingot. This is called a 14 karat gold yellow ingot. Now, this ingot will become square wire for my ring that I'm going to make that has rubies and has a ruby and a diamond in it. I'll show you them later. So I'm going to make a square shank for that ring. That's what this is going to be, a square shank for a ring. So anyway, I'm going to throw up my pickle. Now, pickle is nitric acid and water. And what it does is it'll eat this black, ugly brown and make it look nice and shiny. Never put anything in the pickle other than platinum, gold, silver, and palladium, because it'll turn everything copper. The acid will be contaminated, and then you're going to have to restart, make a new pickle, because it'll be contaminated. So I use copper. Copper does not contaminate it, and I use copper to pick things out. So I'd leave that in there a while, but it wasn't that dirty. So I go into this water here has baking soda and water in it. That's why it's blue. And it neutralizes my acid from when I take it out. You have to excuse my clean water because it's definitely not clean. Anyway, so then I'll take this out. I do not want to touch it. And I'll come over here. I always leave my towel here. I cover my mill with this t-shirt because my area is very moist, and I'm afraid my mill will rust. So I always leave a cloth over the top, and I oil it when I'm done for the day, so that my mill, if you don't take care of your tools, Ruben Villegas used to say, you're going to have rust. So anyway, so now I'm going to take it, and I annealed it. And now I'm going to roll it in my mill. Well, maybe there's a little bit of rough edge. It's called flashing. I don't really want that on my wires, so I'm going to just take this number 4 file, and I'm just going to run over it real quick over my bench so I can collect my dust. And then also that'll take off any flashing anywhere else, like the bottom. Okay, now I want to make square wire. I just happen to have a mill that makes sheet and square wire. And so we'll start out by making this into square wire. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to run this in here. Run this brings it up, this brings it down. These rollers go up and down, and it helps me squish my wire to different gauges, and this right here is my gauge. So here we go. Now I'm going to find where I can get this to roll through, and I think I found it. So I'm going to roll it through and grab it. If you noticed, it sort of made it square. It's getting there. Every polished area is where the mill did it. So now that I put it through that one, I'm going to roll my mill one of these down to 2. I don't know what 2 means, but I'm going to roll it down to 2. I move one of these points every time I roll it, which will make it smaller. And I'm rolling it to the left. Okay, so now I'm going to put my square wire. I'm starting, try to get it into the square. Oops, come here. Try to get in there. Okay. And then roll it through. Oops, not gonna let me. I gotta roll it through this one again. Oops. Catch it. Take it. Now I'm gonna roll it through this one without making it narrower. Oh, this is really tight. I can't go through that one. Okay, so let's go through this one again. And then we'll go through this one for a while. And every time I go to the next bar, which is bringing my mill down, I want to make sure I keep my square wire into the squares. Another one. Is that in there? Catch it. Another one. In there. Now this is the last one I can do in this one because I'm already down as far as my mill will go. So now I'm going to go to the next one, and it won't let me, so I have to back off because my mill needs to back off a little bit, and then I'll start rolling as soon as I can get it to go through. That's about right. Then I'll go down one. See, it's starting to go square. Way longer from last time. This one will really make it, stretch it. And that's what we're doing. We're rolling it until it's really hard to roll. And then we're going to do something called annealing. But right now, we're just making it a wire, square, just like I want from my ring. And gets longer. It's kind of, oh, remember I told you jewelry's like magic? Well, here's where the magic happens. I'm going to take that little teeny ingot, and I'm going to roll it into a beautiful shank for a ring. And it's going to stretch. And stretch. Okay, get in there. Go down one more. Mills are nice to have. Went to school at a school called Thundering Seas in Depot Bay. And I had a teacher named Delphine Krausheimer. And she said that we had to make all our metal and all our rings from scratch. So, she taught me well, I guess. So here we go. Now, it's getting a little hard to roll. When it gets hard to roll, you don't want it to start cracking. So you come back over here, and I'll just set it right here. I didn't change my tip, but I don't need to change my tip at this point. I'll just use the one I have. This is just denatured alcohol and boric acid. And what the jewelers call it is fire coat. And it coats your metal. So when you heat it, it coats the metal so it don't turn as black. And you don't get as much fire coat on the metal, which is nice. You bring it away from the tip, bring it back, and add oxygen. Now I gotta be careful because I really shouldn't be using this heat for this, but I'm just heating it up and making it look a little red. See how it's turning red there? Just a little bit. When it turns red like that, you stop. Now people wonder, what the heck did she heat that for? Well, I heated it because when you take a hanger and you go like this all of a sudden it'll break right in one spot. And it's because you're work hardening that spot. Metal have molecules all through it, and when you hammer it or roll it through a mill and stretch it, your molecules go together and they won't move no more. So what I'm doing is I'm heating them, and now all those little molecules went running around outside the metal there, and now I can make that metal work. Where'd I put my tweezers, copper tweezers? Oh, there they are, excuse me. Okay, copper tweezers. I should have put this in. This is called quenching. No, I did it. I talked too long, but I should have put it right in and it would go. So now we'll take this and take it out. Oh, baking soda and water. Dirty water, supposed to be cleaned. Here's my rag. There we go. So now, want to be sure you make sure none of that acid is left on this metal before you run it back through your mill, because you'll get pitting. And I've learned the hard way. I got a little bit of pitting in there when I first was learning. Do not put pickle on your rolling mill. So now we are going into the second one, and we're not quite down all the way here. So we're going to roll through this second one some more. So I just made it so my metal will stretch. When you anneal it, it can do amazing things. You know, it's silver's the same way. Just gotta make sure you set those little molecules free every once in a while. As soon as it starts feeling hard to roll, and since I have a square mill, I kind of rotate it now to the next square. Sort of, I rolled it this way, now I'm gonna put this way and put it in. Some people roll this way and then will roll this way, the other direction. But I watched how mills they do it in mass production and they do not roll it backwards, so I just keep rolling it forward. I don't think that matters. Am I getting some cracking? No, it's just dirt. Thank you. Don't want cracking. If you get cracking, sometimes will mean that you have some kind of a contamination in your metal. You don't want contamination in your metal, because then you have to do something else with your metal. Oops, they're not going to do that. Do something else with your metal, and usually you have to send it to a refinery, have the contamination taken out, and then they take a third of it. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Make sure you always use new gold. Then you don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to anneal it again. Yep, okay, here we go again. Denatured alcohol. It's called fire coat. There you go. Turn on your torch. Bring it out. Bring it back. Turn on your oxygen. So anyway, again, I'm annealing it. You can see it's way longer than it was. When I'm done, hopefully I will have it at 14 gauge, I think is what I would like to do my ring at. And then I will forge it from there, which means I'll stretch it even more. Forge or planish, I guess planish. When you're a jeweler, you planish. When you're a smith, you forge. There you go. So I made it red. And now I'm going to take it And here, wait for it. There you go. And then I go over here. I go here. And let's wipe it off. Yikes, oh goodness. Okay, there's the... So, here we go. Now, if you can see, it's bending on me, but that's okay, because I can make it bend back now that it's kind of, by rolling it a different direction. So, I'm just going to roll it through the same one a couple times, trying to get this straightened out. See there, I straightened it out that direction. No sort of callywampa son of a gun. Okay, go through. Now I'm going down smaller. One mark smaller. And now that's my last roll for that spot. So now my mill's all the way down. Right here, you go by where the sheet goes in. It's all the way down touching. So now I have to raise it back up. And I'm going to go to the third hole until this, bring it down. Then I keep bringing it down until, okay, it's about right. Then I'm going to roll it through that hole. Now we're on the third hole. Each time, making it smaller. It's a little bit big. Let's try that. Still big. There we go. Better. Doesn't want to go straight. So anyway, we're going on the third hole. In case you don't remember, I am trying to bring it down to do a ring. Now, I just did a no-no, and I just want to show you that this can be fixed, but you never want to roll too fast, bring it down too fast, because if you notice, I just made this little flashing edge because I rolled it down too fast and caused this little rough edge instead of this. It doesn't have that. So I'm going to run it back through, not running it up again, because it sort of, I ran it down too fast. So sometimes if you find yourself you run it down too fast, then you just run it through the same thing twice, getting there. But I think I want to straighten it. Now, this is a planching hammer. If I hammer this with this, it's going to make marks all over it. You always hit metal with this, but I don't want to do that right now. I don't want no marks in it, so I'm going to use this, which is not going to hurt my metal any. It's not going to make marks in it. Maybe you'll let me straighten it. It's pretty good. Just needed to straighten it a little bit. Back through the third hole. Now we'll move down one. We've gone through that 3 or 4 times. Just trying to get that bend out of there. Let's go this one more. Make sure you rotate out every time so that the ring don't squish out like it did before, a little bugger head. Anyway. It's leaving that flashing. I don't know why it's doing that. Probably needs to be straightened. Yeah, I better straighten it. So I'm going to straighten it by kneeling it. You want to do second part?